softly patted her back, breathing in that luscious, sweet, sour, milky scent. She was bawling, and there was only one remedy. He carried her back to their bed. Sharon was sitting up, breasts at the ready. Cato handed the baby over. "Thanks," said Sharon, eyes still closed as Ella latched on and went quiet. "Tea?" yawned Cato. He stood and watched them for a moment, drank it in. This good fortune, this miracle. "What?" Sharon opened an eye. "What are you smiling at?" "Nothing," said Cato. "Toast?" "No carbs allowed. I'm trying to be a yummy mummy." "You're not doing too bad?" "Is that your idea of a compliment?" Cato ducked away. "Tea coming right up." He fumbled for the light switch in the kitchen, took a moment to remember it was on the other side from where he was used to. New house, new wife, new baby. The last 2 years or so had been a mad, glorious whirlwind since Sharon Wang had entered his life. Every so often he would catch himself looking at her, at them, and that old fear would creep in. Fear that he was somehow not worthy, not deserving, and that it would all be taken away from him. Sharon would sometimes catch him then too. "What?" she'd say. "Nothing, all good." Fantastic, in fact. He could hear the murmuring from the bedroom as the kettle began to bubble. He filled 2 mugs and headed back down the hall, aware of the brightening grey outside and the rising twitter of birds. Ella snorted and Sharon smiled down on her. Then Cato's mobile went. It was DC Deb Hassan. "Yep," he said. "There's been another one." The old chill returned. Cato got the details and closed the call. Sharon was looking up at him, drowsily sipping from her mug, Ella asleep on her breast. "What?" she said. Hassan handed Cato a coffee, a mask, a spacesuit, and a pair of blue paper booties as he bent under the perimeter tape. The sun peeked over the eastern skyline, and a breeze snaked throughout the Norfolk pines. Crows arced. A white tent had been erected behind the old Carriage Cafe in Esplanade Park. The forensic team had rigged up lights and were already laying a trail of orange specimen markers, measuring, filming, and commenting along the way. Cato suited up. "The body was found by a jogger. That's her over there with Thornton." DC Chris Thornton was sitting on a park bench, unprofessionally close to a young woman in leggings and a sports bra, pen in his hand, and hanging on her every word. Hassan held the flap of the tent open for him. "Sleep well?" she inquired. Cato's new parenthood in his mid-40s was the subject of much mirth around the office. "Like a baby." Cato swallowed the remainder of his lukewarm coffee and gave her the cup. The deceased was a middle-aged man, to judge by the tufts of grey around his temples. He had been kicked and stomped, his face obliterated, his head and chest a sticky mass of dark blood. "Work boots?" said Hassan. "Steel-capped, we assume?" The clothes, blood aside, were in reasonable condition. The man's trainers were relatively clean and unscuffed. The head and hands had been bagged to preserve trace evidence. Cato crouched down and took a closer look at the hands throughout the transparent plastic. If you disregarded the defense injuries, they were well kept with clean and trimmed nails. "He's definitely one of ours?" said Cato. Duncan Goldflum stooped into the tent. The forensic guru